Just like the Pokemon games, the Pokemon anime world has no shortage of rival characters. Now when you think of anime rivals, you usually just think of Ash rivals like Gary, Paul, or Gladion. But Ash isn't the only character to have a rival. There are a good number of companions that have their fair share of rivals as well. So in this video, we're going to be going over all of them. That's right, I'll be reviewing every Pokemon anime rival in 10 words or less. Each character will be rated on a scale from 1 to 10, with 1 being the absolute worst and 10 being the best that they can be. And as always, shout out to Jello Apocalypse for creating this style of review. Now in order to be considered as a rival, our main character should have multiple battles with this person, or at the very least have enough interactions with them to spark some sort of competition. This is to avoid filling the video with a bunch of non-rivals like AJ, Seamus, Nikolai the Knickerbocker, and even Tobias. Yeah, he definitely doesn't count as a rival. Now with that out of the way, let's get started. The OG Jerk rival, the better Ash Ketchum, until Holland. Where were you in the Johto League? Generation 3 promotion, Hoenn and Gary. Rivals don't get any pettier than this one. Where were you in the beginning of Hoenn? Cool guy, but why did he have a Meowth? The league rival that beats Ash, but for me, the anti-Ash Ketchum. Let's be honest, he was more of a contest guy. Appeal shipping. Started off annoying, but surprisingly got better. Friend-zoned. The most accurate adaptation of a Pokemon player. The best secondary rival. Harley, but worse. Paul, but worse. Too much excitement for her own good. How to not be an S-class connoisseur. Dragon Buster? More like Dragon Busted. Never forget that he beat Silent. Ash's true Unova rival. Ash Ketchum, but worse. Why did you exist if you never battled Ash? A more shipping rival. Handled way better than his game counterpart. The fact that he got a Mega Charizard before Ash. Good competition for Serena. No competition whatsoever. Jesselina, but rushed. Proof that clout outranks talent. Notice me, senpai? The true protagonist of the XY anime. Let's spam Inferno Overdrive. The edgiest of all rivals. Well, at least he helped with Sophocles' development. How got done so dirty, man. The champion level Chad Dad. Finally, a challenging female rival for Ash. Far-fetched development character. The champion goal. And there you have it, my 10 words or less review for every rival in the Pokemon anime. Now it's time to count down my top and bottom 5, starting with 5th best. Now counting Leon, Alon is easily Ash's most powerful rival to date, as Ash has never been able to defeat him. Now even though he doesn't meet Ash till the 3rd season of XY, it's thanks to the Mega Evolution specials that we truly got to know Alon. We saw his progress and development, so when we finally get that moment where he meets Ash, it was nothing but pure epicness. He was a powerful adversary that really pushed Ash and Greninja to their limits. And even though he does beat Ash in the Kalos League finals, rest in peace Kikoga, you can't deny that it was a good ass battle. My only gripe with him is how impossibly fast he collects the Kalos gym badges just to kick Ash's ass in the finals. If it was something that took a bit more time with, it would have made things a little bit better and feel less rushed. 4th best. What makes Sawyer so great is that unlike Ash's other rivals, Sawyer is the one that's always behind. He's basically an Ash fanboy that's trying his best to catch up to the trainer he admires. I think what really makes him stand out for me is the fact that we see how weak he is when we first meet him, but little by little he closes the gap until he's an equal to Ash in the Kalos League. And the fact that he studied Ash's battle style meant that he was an actual threat to our boy, cause he had the perfect counter for most of Ash's team. All in all, Sawyer's an awesome trainer that proves you don't have to be a jerk to be a good rival. 3rd best. Gary motherfucking Oak, the OG rival that started it all. This man really set the standard for what makes a good rival. He's cocky and talks down to Ash, which makes him an excellent motivator, but he's not just all talk because he can actually back it up. And once Johto begins, you really see his maturity come in, which made him an even greater trainer. He really was the ultimate obstacle for Ash back in the day. He was his goal. The only thing holding him back from going any higher though is that he doesn't really appear as often as he should. Have Gary show up more often and beat Ash a couple more times, and he honestly would have been the best rival in my opinion. But hey, at least my man was good enough to be brought back as a rival to Go now, so there's lots more Gary Oak to look forward to. 2nd best. Now Drew is Gary done perfectly. He has all the same qualities that made Gary a great rival. He constantly belittles May, which served as a perfect driving force for her. And as the AG series goes on, he slowly starts to respect her. even though he won't admit it. Eventually, May gets so close to Drew's skill level that he freaks out because he can't handle the fact that he'll finally lose to her, which added a bit more depth to his character. The best part about Drew is that unlike Gary, we actually see him pretty often, which allowed him to be a fully fleshed out character that constantly impacted our protagonist's development. Now that's a damn rival for ya. And now for the best. As you probably guessed, Paul is the best rival. What makes him work so well is that not only did we want to see Ash beat him, but he also challenges Ash's views when it came to raising his Pokemon. He is the opposite of Ash in every way possible, which made him the perfect foe to overcome. He was also incredibly strong, proving that his training methods had some validity to it. On top of that, the DP anime did a good job of fleshing him out by making his presence known from beginning to end. He was not only a great source of conflict, but a great source of growth for Ash as well. Paul really was the perfect rival for Ash, and I don't think we're ever gonna get one that was as great as him again. Tell me, how do you top that? That's the neat thing, you don't. So with that in mind, how about we move on to the bottom 5? It's only downhill from here. 5th worst. In the same vein as Richie, Harrison, and Tyson did for Ash, here we have Soledad, who solely existed to stop May from winning the Kanto Grand Festival. Now at first she did seem like a cool character, but then they did this thing where apparently she has a past with Drew, Harley, and even Brock? This was done so that she could fist feed May and the audience Drew exposition since she knows Drew so well. It got annoying really fast. I hated how important they wanted this character to feel, but the reality is, she isn't. And the cherry on top is that after spending all this time with her, we don't even get to see the full battle between her and May. She just destroys May in off-screen land. Yeah, I don't like you, Soledad. 4th worst. Trevor, the total pushover. It doesn't help that his original game counterpart sucks as well, but that didn't stop Tierno from being an upgrade. So why did Trevor suck so much? He barely does anything and is an utter weakling. Yet this is the trainer the anime chose to give a Mega Charizard Y? That was such a waste because he suffered a humiliating sweep in the first round of the Kalos League. The only interesting thing about him is that his goal is to take pictures of Pokemon or something, but that was already done before, so I don't really care. 3rd worst. Jesselie is basically Jesselina, but worse. I will admit she was pretty good at showcases, but we barely see it. We only see her win 1 Princess Key, and then she magically has all 3 by the Master Class. Why didn't we see that? I hate how they just skip over that. It felt so rushed. Honestly, why should I care for Jesselie when the XY anime barely cared for her to begin with? But I guess this was just a product of Pokemon showcases being so rushed. 2nd worst. Cameron. I know exactly what they were trying to do with this character. He's supposed to be the Richie of Black and White, the new best buddy who's just like Ash, and ends up beating him. The problem, however, is that Cameron's a dumbass. There is no way he should be defeating Ash, especially when he brought 5 Pokemon to a full battle, yet they make it happen anyways. He wins in such an Ash way too. All throughout Unova, Ash is winning gyms by having his Pokemon evolve at the last minute. So what does Cameron do? Evolves his Riolu last minute to defeat Ash. Talk about karma. And now for the worst. Nini is the worst rival to grace the Pokemon anime. Why? Bro, she doesn't do anything. She's so freaking boring and only shows up to lose. There's literally an episode in XY where she shows up, loses in the first round of the Pokemon Showcase, and then she leaves halfway through the episode. Well, gee, alright, thanks for coming, I guess. She couldn't even get past the first round of the Master Class cause she lost to Jesselie. Seriously? Why did this character exist? You know how we all thought Stefan was going to be another character of the day we'll never see again, but then he turned out to be a pretty good rival? Well, Nini is basically the same thing, except she turned out to be the worst rival of them all. Thanks for watching, everyone. Let me know your favorite Pokemon anime rival in the comments. Make sure to live your life to the fullest and have yourself a damn good one.